This is Gary Butterfield,
This is Cole Ross.
and this is Monster My Podcast.
This is the Chimera.
There's a monster in my podcast.
Chimera, who I called a chimera for like the entirety of my youth.
Oh, of course. That's one of those things. It's hard for me to like really come down hard on somebody who says a word slightly wrong, because that usually means they just read it and never heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And at no point does this look like Kai.
Yeah.
Like this isn't Kai.
It's Greek.
Yeah. Shit. So this is another one of like the mythological monster entries.
Yeah.
These guys.
1/3 of this is really, really not pulling his weight.
I love that so much though, like because they want to make the goat part of this scary, right? So a chimera is a monster that has a goat body, so fair enough. A lion kind of front body, fair enough, and then has the head of a lion, so regular scary. A dragon, super scary.
Yeah,
and then the head of a goat.
Yeah,
and like the goat. One in this picture, like that goat really just looks like he's gonna stand in the back and be like, "Do it, guys!"
He's
like
the hype man.
Yeah, this goat does not look like. And then even in the entries, it's like, the lion must feed on meat once a month, and the dragon wants to gain a horde. And let me find the exact little bit here about the goat that I wanted to read. The goat will browse on the toughest plants and shrubs and derive nutrition from the most barren vegetation.
So I guess like,
And the goat did feast.
which like okay, so like intellectually that's kind of a cool idea, that there is kind of like just this can feast on anything, it can live anywhere, right? Like it doesn't matter if there's meat, if there's plants, something like that. Like that's a cool, maybe, I mean cool's wrong.
It can do that. It doesn't want to. Like
right.
the other parts want meat. It's just like if it has to, it falls back to its goat state.
Yeah.
It's like a torpor kind of state for it. Like, I've been goating.
Real down lately. Yeah. Times are tight.
Something's got my goat.
There's nothing in the description that describes what their wings do. Like that is purely vestigial.
Yeah.
I think it's like to increase its size so it can intimidate its prey. Maybe
That makes sense. Yeah, because I don't think it can fly. It might be able to though. I don't know. It can breathe fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like these things because I like the way that none of the stuff that's in this entry came from like mythological chimeras, because they were just monsters. Like we didn't care about monsters back in the day. They were just like, oh, they're cyclopses sometimes. But this one they're like, it's torn between these three impulses, and it reminds me of a Michael Cooperman comic where it's like Tarzan and Dracula together at last, and the dialogue is like Dracula being like, I'm gonna go suck some blood, and Tarzan going like, sounds good, I'm off to swing on some vines. Because that's what it's like. It's just like the dragon part is just like, I want to do dragon shit, and the lion part wants to do lion shit, and the goat stuff is just up for whatever.
It's like if the Three Stooges shared a body.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
like,
Well, yeah. And they just all wanted to do, I mean, I don't actually know what the Stooges' motivations are.
yeah, probably throw pies and
Yeah. Just like, I don't know. Fucking Stooges. Yeah. I hate when I can't, I'm dreading the day we get to the S.
Man, but the dragon and lion parts seem to be at war with each other. Like, how is this thing just not a constant like handicap like Fracas Cloud?
Yeah, like by just eating itself.
Yeah,
alive. They're made. It doesn't tell us too. The Monster Manual says that like the way they're created is a dark mystery better left unexplored. Which like that's not for you to tell me that.
No,
Monster Manual, you're supposed to tell me what happened so I can decide that. You lazy piece of shit. Like I want to know what makes these things, because they make no fucking sense.
Right. Like what's a red dragon doing anywhere close to these guys? Is it like a really, really unsuccessful like kill? Like,
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I almost killed a lion, but there were too many of them, and a goat was watching and masturbating, so he got dragged into the fracas as well.
Everybody knows goats are dirty boys.
Don't mind me.
I'm just horny over here.
Yeah. Yep. Billy Goat Gruff.
Yeah. The Gorgamera is interesting, but only because the Gorgon is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also it feels a lot like gilding the lily to me.
Yeah.
Like the chimeras are already fine. Making one that can instantly kill you through petrification doesn't add that much.
No.
And then it just gets a little paragraph of like, what if this was cooler? It doesn't, there's no like the Gorgon constantly like, I'm going to go off to make statues. That's great. I'm going to go get some gold. I'm going to go chew a can and break.
Brought to you by our backers at patreon.com/duckfeed.tv.